Hello everyone, welcome to Career Training Solutions. We are at problem solving session of averages. If you haven't watched the previous videos where we discussed the concept base as well as problem solving techniques of averages, I have included the link in description, just have a look at it. Now let's enter into our first question. The batting average for 40 innings of a cricket player is 50 runs. His highest score in an innings exceeds his lowest score by 172 runs. If these two innings are excluded, the average score of the remaining 38 innings is 48 runs. Find his highest score in an innings. So the question is really simple. The batting average of 40 innings is 50. So in 40 innings he scored 50 as average. So total runs scored by the cricket player is 40 into 50, 2000. And we have this second hint. His highest score in an inning exceeds his lowest score by 172 runs. So if his lowest score is X, then his highest score will be 172 runs higher, so which is 172. So X is the lowest score and X plus 172 is the highest score. If these two innings are excluded, the average score of the remaining 38 innings is 48 runs. So if we exclude these two runs, then in remaining 38 matches their average is 48. So 38 into 48 we get 1824 runs. So when you subtract 1824 from 2000, we get 176. So this 176 is nothing but the remaining two innings score. So X plus 172 is 176. So 2X equal to 4, X equal to 2 runs. So we can see the lowest score in all the innings of the cricket player is 2 runs, and we have to find the highest score. So highest score is X plus 172. So 2 plus 172 we get 174. So 174 is the highest score in all the innings of the cricket player. Hope you understood the problem. Moving to question number 2. 10 years ago, the average age of the family of 4 members was 24 years. Since then, 2 children have been born. Still the average age of the family is same today. If 2 children differ in the age by 2 years, find the present age of the younger child. So this question is based on problems on ages, right? So we know the average age of 4 members of the family is 24 years. So before 10 years, average age of the 4 members of the family is 24 years. So before 10 years, their total sum will be 96 years. Since then, 2 children have been born. Still the average age of the family is same today. So today also, after 10 years, right? So today also their average is same, but now they have 6 people in their family. So 24 into 6, their sum is 144 years. And we have another hint. If 2 children differ in the age of 2 years, so if first child age is X, then second child will be X plus 2. Right? So if first child is X, second child will be X plus 2. Now we know before 10 years it is 96 years. Now after 10 years, we have to add 40, right? Because we have 4 people in the family. So when you add 40, you get 96 plus 40, 136 years. So this 136 years is nothing but age of these 4 people. So when you subtract 36 from this 144, we get 8 years. So what is this 8 years? 8 years is age of these 2 children. And when you sum this X plus 2, this will be equal to 8 years. So 2X equal to 6 years and X equal to 3 years. Now what we have to find is exactly the present age of the younger child. So present age of the younger child is 3 years. So present age of the elder child will be 3 plus 2, because X plus 2 is the age of the elder child. So X is the age of the younger child. So X is 3 years. So we found the answer is 3 years. Moving to question number 3. The average score of girls in class 10th examination in a school is 73 and that of boys is 71. The average score in class X of the school is 71.8. Find the percentage of number of girls and boys in class 10th of the school. So this question works on the principle of weighted average. So I try to solve the question both using weighted average, that is mixture and delegation, as well as our simple average concept. So first try to solve the problem using traditional method. Since we don't know what is the total number of boys in the class, we can take it as total boys is B. And average mark score by the boys is 71. So B into 71, 71B. So 71B is the total mark score by all the boys of the school. Now we don't know what is total strength of girls, so we can keep total strength of girls as G. So this G number of girls scored 73 marks in average. So G into 73, it is 73 G. Now this class average is, that is the complete school average is 71.8. We know total number of boys is B and total number of girls is G. So totally this boys and girls average mark is 71.8, and we know the total score of boys is 71B and total score of girls is 73G. So when you solve it, you will get the boys and girls ratio. With this you can easily find the percentage of boys and girls in the score. So 71B equal to, 73G equal to 71.8B plus 71.8G. So 0.8B equal to 1.2G. So boys and girls in the ratio 3 by 2. Right, so when you multiply this by 10, you get 12 by 8, which is 3 by 2. So boys and girls in the ratio 3:2. See, totally we have 5 parts. Out of the 5 parts, we have only 2 parts belongs to girls. So 2 by 5 into 100, we get 40% of girls. So we have 40% of girls in this school. So remaining 60% will be boys. So here we have to find both boys and girls percentage. So girls is 40%, boys will be 60%. This becomes our answer. Hope you understood the concept, right? So we can also solve the same problem using weighted average or mixed and alligation rule. So we can solve this problem using mixed and alligation rule now. So average mark score by the girls is 73 and average mark score by the boys is 71. And average mark score by both the boys and girls, or we can say the average mark score by the class 10th is 71.8. So when you use alligation rule, you get 0.8 and 73 minus 71.8, you get 1.2. Right, so 71.8 minus 71, you get 0.8. 73 minus 71.8, you get 1.2. So which is 8:12, or we can say it is 2:3. Now girls are 2 parts and boys are 3 parts. Right, so girls and boys in the ratio 2:3. So girls are 2 parts and boys are 3 parts. So 2 out of 5 into 100 is girls, which is 40%. So out of 100%, if 40 is girls, remaining 60% will be boys. You can also solve the same problem using mixed and alligation rule. So if you want more details regarding mixed and alligation, so you can look at the playlist where we have pursued mixed and allegations. Now moving to question number 4. 16 children are to be divided into 2 groups, A and B, of 10 and 6 children. So we have to divide the 16 children into 2 groups, A and B. So in A we have to put 10 children, in B we have to put 6 children. The average percentage marks obtained by the children of the group A is 75. So this total 10 children obtained 75 as average marks. So 10 into 75 is the total marks obtained by group A. And the average percentage marks of all 16 children is 76. So total marks obtained by all the 16 children is 76. So 10 plus 6, we have 16 children. So the 16 children obtained 76 marks as the total average. Now we have to find average percentage of marks of the children in group B. So we have to find this question mark value. So 10 into 75, we get 750. We can keep it as x, right? So 6 into x, 6x. 16 into 76, we get 1216. So 6x equal to 466, right? So 1216 minus 760, we get 466. So x equal to 77.66. So 77.66 is nothing but average marks scored by group B. Hope you understood the problem. Moving to question number 5. In an examination, a pupil's average marks was 63 per paper. If he had obtained 20 more marks for his geography paper and 2 more marks for his history paper, his average per paper would have been 65. How many papers were there in the examination? Since we don't know what is the total number of papers he attempted, we can take the total number of papers he wrote as n. Number of papers is n. Now initially his average for n papers is 63. So total marks obtained by this pupil in this n papers is 63 into n, 63n. So the 63n is the initial total score of the pupil. Now if he scored 20 marks in geography as well as 2 more marks in history, that is 20 plus 2. If he scored 22 marks higher, this average will increase to 2 higher, right, which is 65. So he totally wrote n papers, so now this average becomes 65. So when you solve it, you will get the answer. So 63n plus 22 equal to 65n. So 2n equal to 22. So n equal to 11. So 11 is nothing but total number of papers he wrote in the examination. Hope you understood the problem. So if you haven't understood, let me repeat the same concept one more time. So here the person initially scored 63 as the average marks in n number of papers. So we can find the total marks obtained by this pupil, which is 63 into n, that is average into total number of papers is the sum, right? So 63 into n, 63n is the total marks obtained in all the papers. So if he scored 22 marks higher, then his average will be 65. So 63n plus 22 by total number of papers is constant here, which is n equal to 65. When we solve it, you get the total number of papers 11. Hope you understood the problem. Moving to question number 6. The average height of 35 girls in a class was calculated as 160 centimeter. It was later found that the height of one of the girls in the class was wrongly written as 144 centimeter, whereas her actual height was only 104 centimeter. What is the actual height of the girls in the class? What is the actual height of the girls in the class rounded off to the 2 digits after decimal? So we have to find the original average. So average height of 35 girls in the class was calculated 160 centimeter. So if for 35 girls, if average is 160 centimeter, 35 into 160, we get 5600. So 5600 centimeter will be the sum of height of all the girls. So one girl's height was wrongly recorded as 144 centimeter instead of 104 centimeter. So difference between the original height and the wrong height is 40 centimeter. So we have to subtract this 40 from 5600. So if we subtract, we get 5560 centimeters. So this 5560 centimeters is the original or actual height of sum of all the girls. So with this we can easily find the actual average of these girls. So 5560 is sum of sum of height of all the girls. Now we totally have 35 girls. So 5560 by 35 we get 158.86 centimeter. So this is the actual average of these 35 girls. 160 is not the actual average. So 160 is the average happened because of this 40 centimeter excess. So this is the actual average of these girls. Hope you understood the problem. Moving to question number 7. 10 years ago, the ages of the numbers of a family of 8 people added up to 231 years. 3 years later, one member died at the age of 60 years and a child was born during the same year. After another 3 years, one more member died again at 60 and a child was born during the same year. The current age of his 8-member joint family is nearest to dash. So we have 8 people in the family. Before 10 years, their age was 231 years. So this is age of these 8 people before 10 years. Now 3 years later, one member died at the age of 60 years. So 3 years later, in the sense, for one guy, after 3 years, the age will be increased to 3. For these 8 people, 8 into 3 years, 24 years will be increased. So you have to add 24 with this 231. So when you add this 24 with 231, you get 255 years. See, during the same time, one person passed away. So you have to subtract 60 years because age of the past person is 60. So 255 minus 60, we get 195. Now one more child born. So again we have 8 people in the family. Now after another 3 years, one more member died again at 60. So after another 3 years, in the sense, again you have to multiply 3 with 8. So 8 into 3, 24 years get added after another 3 years. So 195 plus 24, we get 219. See, during the same time another person passed away. So we have to subtract 60 from 219. We get 159. See, out of 10 years, already 3 years gone. So again we have added another 3 years. Now after 6 years, their age will be 159. Now what we have to find? You have to find the current average of 8-member joint family. So current, you have to find the current average, right? So it means after 4 years, see, before 10 years it was 231. Before 7 years it was 195. Before 4 years it was 159. So current it will be 8 into 4, 32 years. So you have to sum this 32 years with this 159, so that you will get 191 years. So 191 years is sum of age of all the members family at present. So you have to divide this 191 by, you totally have how many people in the family? 8 people, right? So when you divide this by 8, you get approximately 23.75, right? So approximately we get 23.75. So here you have to nearest this value, right? So approximately we can say the average is 24 years. So 24 years is answer for this problem. Hope you understood the problem, right? So this question looks little complex, but you have to practice this type of problems to gain knowledge on problems related to averages as well as ages. Now moving to last question of this session. In a primary school, the average weight of male student is 65.9 kg and the average weight of female students is 57 kg. If the average weight of all the students, that is both male and female, is 60.3 kg and the number of male students in the school is 66, what is the number of female students in the school? And by reading the question itself, we can come to a conclusion. This question works on the principle of weighted average. So we can use the rule of alligation. So average weight of male students is 65.9 kg and average weight of female students is 57 kg and average weight of both male and female, that is club of male and female, is 60.3 kg. Now use alligation rule, we get 60.3 minus 57, we get 3.3. 65.9 minus 60.3, we get 5.6. So when you multiply this by 10, you get 33 is to 56. See, we don't need to reduce further because here total number of male students is 66. So we can keep it as 33x and 56x. So if 33x is 66, 1x will be 2. So here we have to find total number of female students, right? So female students is 56 parts. So 56 into 2, we get 112 female students. So answer for this question is 112 students. Or you can keep total number of male M and total number of female F. So in this way also you can solve, but it will consume little time. So if you use alligation rule, you can come with the answer in less than 30 seconds. Hope you understood all the problems of this playlist, right? So if you have any doubt, please don't hesitate to pass it on comment section below. Like and share the video to your friends. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.